Thank you. I rise in opposition to the proposed amendment, and I want to just make a comment on some of the things I've heard because I'm in support of the bill as it is without this particular amendment. The first thing that comes to my mind is that in about the year and a half before that period of a year and a half before I was elected to this position, in Maricopa County, where I am from, Maricopa County, Arizona, more than 10,000 criminal aliens were released onto the streets of that county. 4.5 million people, but releasing known criminals onto the streets who are in this country illegally. Of those, more than 3,000 of them were known to be criminally violent, it was reported. That is to say, they had been charged with rape, with murder, with felonious assault or aggravated assault in Arizona. That doesn't mean everyone who crosses the border illegally is a violent criminal, but in this instance, those violent criminals were released onto the streets of Phoenix and the Valley of the Sun. One of those who was released, who had been deported twice and made his way back into the country, wandered into the QT market in Mesa, my district, and on that particular early morning decided he wanted a pack of cigarettes and didn't want to pay for it. And he, who otherwise should not have been in this country, pulled his gun out and shot this young man, Grant Ronnebeck, at point-blank range between the eyes and killed him. That's devastating. This bill would have required him to be held in custody. Brandon Mendoza, a little over a year ago, a Mesa City police officer driving on the freeway was hit by someone else who was in this country illegally, who was drunk and hit him head-on going wrong way on the freeway. So these are just a couple of the incidents that have happened in my district over the last couple of years. And so I bring the support of millions of Arizonans who've watched for decades the impact of illegal aliens' presence who are here committing crimes. I bring the support of the family of Rob Krenz, an Arizona border rancher who was killed by illegal aliens. And I point out that in Section 105D, Section 108C, and Section 109C of this bill, there is reimbursement provisions for local jurisdictions. I oppose this amendment. I support the underlying bill without amendment, and I yield back.
Would the gentleman yield?
Yes, I'll yield.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. I appreciate very much his remarks, and I know as a representative from Arizona, you're familiar with Arizona versus the U.S. In that case, the Supreme Court ruled very clearly that states could enact immigration enforcement provisions provided that they were in compliance with the immigration laws of the United States, and also made it clear that they could participate in a 287G program, which the Obama administration then, I think the very next day, kicked Arizona out of. So if we're trying to get better cooperation between state and local law enforcement and federal law enforcement to properly have respect for the rule of law and enforce our immigration laws, it would seem to me that that would be a good thing to require that the federal government have to show good cause for eliminating an entire state from an important program that adds considerable resources and manpower to supporting the law.
Yes, I'll reclaim my time. Yes, Mr. Chairman. And in fact, the law enforcement agencies, not necessarily the chiefs of police, but the law enforcement agencies wanted to continue participation in 287G programs, but without cause, had that opportunity taken away and stripped away from them by the Obama administration. That's correct.